The X-Men Ambition is a pretty disliked cube. It feels slow to turn, is uncontrollable, has weird lockups, and is just generally not a great cube. It's no surprise that not a lot of top cubers use it. However, it's currently my main and I've been using it for almost a year now. In this video, I'm going to explain why I main the Ambition despite its reputation as a bad cube.
Nice oscilloscope case, I forgot about that.
The Ambition is a 60mm flagship from GE, and unsurprisingly it's comparable to their Valk 4. It has a very blocky and stable feel, but as a result of its high stability, it sacrifices some of its corner cutting and fluidity in turning. This is the main reason people dislike it. Its blockiness causes a lot of lockups if you don't have accurate turning, and it's really hard to adjust to how unforgiving the cube is. Slight misalignments can cause the cube to lock up. However, once you manage to adapt your turning style to the Ambition, I think that it has a lot of potential. Currently, the Ambition is better than any other 4x4 that I've tried, including the Aussie Worm, Aussie GTS2M, and MGC4. Those three cubes are the most popular flagship 4x4s, but they all have weaknesses that I think the Ambition is better in. So I'm gonna go through each of those and talk about why the Ambition is better. First, the Aussie GTS2M. This cube was my previous main before I got the Ambition, and it can be very good. Although it's an old cube, quite a few people still use it. However, its main weakness is how difficult it is to set up. If you tension it a little bit too tightly, the plastic will grind against itself and not turn well. If you tension a bit too loosely, the cube becomes unstable and pops. It also feels heavy and a bit slow no matter what lubes I put in it. In addition, the cube is 61mm and it feels big and less comfortable to turn, but that's just my personal preference. The Ambition doesn't have any of those problems. Tensioning isn't hard, and it also responds well to lube. I once put 20 drops of weight 1 in it, which should make it slower because that is a lot of overlubing. But instead of becoming gummy and slow, it was surprisingly still pretty fast, even after not using it for a while. The Ambition is a millimeter smaller than the GTS2M, and it feels a lot nicer to hold. Next, the MGC4. The main problem I have with this cube is its magnet strength, especially on the inner slice. It's incredibly strong, and I have trouble turning well on the cube because the magnets overpower everything else. But other than that magnet strength, everything else is great. It corner cuts much better than the Ambition does, but the magnet strength alone is just so much of an issue that I'm noticeably slower on the cube, even while turning aggressively. The MGC4 works for a lot of people, and it's a great option, but I just can't get my best times on it. Compared to the MGC4, the Ambition has a much lighter magnet strength that I think is perfect. The magnets help to stabilize the cube, but they don't get in the way of my turning. Finally, the Aussie Worm. I've only tried it at a competition once, but from my experience it's kinda slow and slightly blocky. It's not a bad cube, but again I can't get my best times on it. My current PB is 27.77 and I set it on the Ambition, which shows that it can actually be a good cube. I main it just because I simply get better times on it. If you're debating whether or not to buy an Ambition, it depends. If you can turn very accurately and don't mind having to do a ton of solves to break in the cube, then get the Ambition. If not, or if you don't know, then just get the MGC instead. It's cheaper and it works for a lot of people, whereas the Ambition is more expensive and it only works for a few people with certain turning styles. If you want to buy the Ambition, or any other cube for that matter, then you can use code JavaCuber at SES to get a discount on your order and to support me. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.